Welcome. In this explainer, we're tackling what might be the biggest epidemic plaguing us today: phone addiction. We've all got this tiny device in our pocket that holds the entire universe. But what happens when it starts holding a little too much control over us?
All right, so first things first, before we can even talk about a cure, we kind of need a diagnosis, right? So let's run through a quick little checklist. And hey, be honest with yourself here. Do any of these sound just a little too familiar?
Think about it. You're supposed to be connecting with the people right there in front of you, but your brain is just buzzing, wondering what's happening in your inbox. If you are constantly checking in, especially when you should be checked out, that is a classic sign.
Oh man, we've all fallen down this rabbit hole. You pick up your phone to check the weather, and then bam! The next thing you know, you've watched 40 TikToks, you've researched the entire history of the spork, and you've completely lost track of time. Losing entire days, that's a major red flag.
Ah, yes, the dreaded doom scroll leg. It is a surprisingly common thing. If your bathroom breaks have basically turned into marathon scrolling sessions that require a physical recovery period, well, you know what that means.
So if any of those just hit a little too close to home, the diagnosis is pretty clear. But here's the good news. You are in a very big club. You are so not alone in this.
In fact, this is a massive issue. We're talking about over half of Americans who openly admit they feel addicted to their phones. It's become this shared modern struggle that ironically connects us by disconnecting us.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about your mental health or losing time. There are very real and, let's be honest, kind of painful physical consequences. This little habit has led to a documented 100% increase in hemorrhoid cases. Your phone addiction could literally be a pain in the butt.
So you've accepted there's a problem. That's a great first step. Maybe you've even tried a few of the popular solutions out there. But before we get to what actually works, let's just debunk some of the really bad advice.
Yeah, there are two major camps of bad advice that you see everywhere. First, you've got the grayscale people. The idea is to make your phone super boring so you don't use it. But in reality, you just end up using a much uglier phone for the exact same amount of time. Then there's the infamous social media cleanse, which usually starts with a big announcement for likes, which completely defeats the whole purpose.
And this quote just brilliantly captures the biggest problem with the cleanse. It can turn people completely insufferable. They feel this need to shoehorn their life-changing experience into every single conversation, no matter how weird the context. It's a Band-Aid, people, not a real fix. Okay, now that we've cleared away all that nonsense, let's get to the good stuff. We're going to look at a practical system of remedies that can help you genuinely, for real, take back control of your attention and your life. So we're going to walk through 4 powerful, really actionable remedies. And these aren't just temporary fixes. These are changes that help you build a new, much healthier relationship with your technology. First up, and this one is an absolute game changer, silence the noise. Seriously, every ping, every buzz, every banner is an engineered interruption designed specifically to pull you back in. So turn off every single notification except for actual text and phone calls. Your peace of mind is worth so much more than knowing someone just tagged you in a photo. Next, you gotta set some simple boundaries. These are not complicated life overhauls, just clear, simple rules. Like, for example, no phone in bed. This one rule prevents both the late-night doom scroll and the morning social media binge. Another great one, no phone when you're with a friend. Just be present. So, the crucial point for our third remedy comes from the productivity expert James Clear. To break a bad habit, you don't just need more willpower, you need to change your environment. You need to introduce some friction. And you can apply this principle super easily. Instead of charging your phone right by your bed, charge it across the room. Better yet, in another room entirely. Buy a cheap $10 alarm clock. That tiny bit of physical distance makes that mindless, knee-jerk phone grab so much less likely to happen.
And finally, let's use a little technology against itself. You know those built-in screen time limiters? They're often way too easy to just bypass with a simple tap on Ignore. But stronger external apps, like Jumo or Freedom, can literally block you from your problem apps, forcing you to pause and break that autopilot response.
Look, putting these systems in place isn't just about feeling a little less distracted right now. It is about a fundamental long-term transformation of how you operate in the world.
Sure, in the short term, you'll feel better. You'll be more focused, and that's great. But the long-term payoff, that's where the real magic happens. You actually train yourself to be more present in your own life, more intentional with your actions, and way less controlled by all those digital impulses. What this is really about is switching from being a passenger, just driven around by what the algorithm recommends, to being the one in the driver's seat. You are the one in control, choosing exactly where your attention goes. It means you can finally filter out that constant stream of outrage and noise that's just designed to divide us or distract us, and instead you get to consciously choose what you let into your own mental space.
And your ability to focus deeply, on important work, on a real conversation with someone you love, on a good book, it doesn't just come back. It comes back stronger than ever, like a muscle that you've started training again. And that is the ultimate goal, isn't it? Reclaiming your attention from that digital shackle isn't just about productivity. It's about presence, it's about intention, and it's about building a happier, more fulfilling life. The real question is, what are you going to do with all that focus once you get it back?